This is the training video for Navajo Tacos. We get all of the scones from the scone booth. Just make sure to mention to the scone booth that you need scones, and they will make sure to bring some over here onto a paper lined tray.
Everything. This is the prep area where the meat and beans are heated. We have this double camp chef here. We do the beans in kind of a double boiler method in the right pot. So
pinto beans will be in a box located on the pallet next to the serving booth. You will take 2 cans at a time, open them up. We usually like to drain 1 can of all of the liquid through the sieve. That way there's not so much liquid that the Navajo tacos end up soggy. We put the remaining beans into a water bath in a stock pot. So we will put it inside of a container that will then go inside the stock pot that has boiling water. And then put the lid on, and when the beans are up to temperature, then you will come and get your thermometer and make sure it's clean. Stick it into the beans, and when it is 165 degrees, then you know that it's got the temperature that you need. And then record on your sheet what time it was taken out and what the temperature was. And then when you start a new batch, you record how many cans you put in. Usually we do 2, but if we're in a rush and we're running behind, heat 1 can at a time because it will heat faster. And make sure you write the time that you put it in, and then the time that it comes out and the temperature. If the containers over in the serving bin, the one in the back and the one in the front, are full, then we will put it in one of these roasting pans. Right now, here we have a roasting pan that has a liner in it, and underneath the liner you will have liquid. This one is low on liquid. You want to make sure it's a little bit higher, but not too high, because once you get the liner in with meat, then you will have it spill over side and it will make a mess. So you probably want about a 1/2 inch of water underneath the liner. And keep that in there, and you'll want to maintain that temperature to 200 degrees, because the meat, once it's been heated up to 165, needs to be maintained at 135 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, all of these instructions are written down and on a clipboard in the booth. When your meat is ready, pull it out with some tongs.
yes, pull it out with some tongs.
That's ours.
Make sure to wear some gloves because it is hot. Unfortunately, this year we ran out of taco meat, so we were pretending with some barbecue pork. But just pretend this is actual taco meat. Once it's come out, you need to get a thermometer. You'll flatten the bag, fold it over the thermometer, and make sure it comes up to a 165 degrees Fahrenheit. You cannot serve the meat unless it's come up to a 165 Fahrenheit. When you have the meat at the correct temperature, you will come over to your sheet, your temperature log, and you will write it down. We took it out at 224. It was 165 degrees. And then when you put in a new piece of meat, you put in how many bags of meat you've put in and what time you put the meat in. And then when the meat is up temperature, you write down the time you took it out and the temperature.
Put a bag in if you want to show that.
And then you will take this bag and you will open it up.
Yes, I will.
You will still need gloves because the bag will be super hot.
Right there.
Okay, thank you.
Once the meat is all in there, then you will take it over to the Navajo Tacos, and someone will take that and switch it out with the back one. The back one will come forward to the front. which has already been done. And then the front bin that is empty needs to go up to the washing station. It needs to be washed between every batch that is in here. Again, we cook it over there on the south side, and then it comes to the back goes to the front, and the front is served. All meat and beans need to be maintained at 135 degrees temperature. When you check it, needs to be checked every 20 minutes. You write down the time that you checked it and the temperature. This one is for the meat. This one is for the beans. So right now we're going to check the meat. We get our thermometer out, put it in the middle of the beans, make sure it's turned on. Once it stops moving, so we know that it's reached 137.6. So write down in the meat what time it is and the temperature. There will be a clock just nearby. And then we'll do the same thing for the beans. It has its own thermometer. Put it in the middle of the beans. Okay, we've reached 152 or 165. So again, you'll wipe that off, put it in its sleeve, and record that information. This needs to be done by the booth supervisor, again, every 20 minutes. This is the process for getting a scone made, or a Navajo taco made. You get the taco, and then you will come over, and normally you'll get a scoop of the beans. Can you show me a scoop of the beans? So this ladle has some drainage holes. You do want to slide it to the side to drain some of the liquid out, and then as you can see, you let some of the liquid fall out. This is a good serving amount, which you put directly on top of the scone. Thank you. Then you would take the meat and do the same thing, and then put it on top of the beans. And you want to make sure you have this lid on this side, because it opens easy, and this kind of lid on this side. Again, we ran out of taco meat, so what you are seeing is barbecue pork. But you would just do one scoop of barbecue pork or of taco meat. Just slide it to the side so that you don't have a huge scoop, and put it on top of the scone. If they wanted it with beans, then you'd put it on top of that. If they don't want beans, then you don't put it on top of that. Sometimes people want vegetarian, so they won't have any meat and just beans. It varies either way. So now we have all the condiments that you would need. We've got lettuce, olives, salsa, onions, cheese, tomatoes, and sour cream. Make sure if there's 2 pumps, they need to pay an extra ticket for the second pump.
Okay.
Other than that, it's only 1 pump. We don't have enough sour cream to do more than 1 pump. So we're going to watch her put the toppings on this one. Lettuce we're good with extra. Only 1 pinch of the olives. A scoop of, or a small pinch of the onions, a scoop of salsa.
I'm sorry. Also, are you sure?
And then a pinch of tomatoes, a pinch of cheese, and again, 1 pump of sour cream.
So when using the ladle to the meat or the beans, we don't ever want to touch the scone with the ladle. We just tip it on so it doesn't cross-contaminate.
The ticket taker is not allowed to take food and hand it out to the customer. They can only handle the tickets for food safety reasons. We can do combinations here. If you are doing the Navajo Tacos, please have the tickets that entered here. If you're adding to that drinks, then you will add that to the drink bin. If you're adding corn, make sure to add it to the corn bin. It's important to keep these tickets separate because we need them for monitoring inventory and know how much to buy for next year. Also, if you want the corn, if they choose the corn will be kept in a warming container here. right next to where you take the orders. If you run out of corn, then you just come out to the middle section here and you will holler to a runner that I need some corn. And they will run down to the opposite end to the corn booth and grab you about 5 ears of corn to keep into the cooler. If you have a customer that wants to have a combo with a drink, then we have extra drinks stored right next to the booth. If you run out of a type of soda or water, then call out here in the middle for a runner and ask them to go and get some soda for you. If at any point that you run out of toppings for the Navajo tacos or supplies, you run out to the south side and you will yell out, "I need a runner." When you do so, you can tell the runner what it is you need. I need a runner! When you have dirty dishes, then again bring it down to the south side and put it on the board and holler out to a runner to run it up to the kitchen for
Runner. Need a runner.
to be washed.
This needs to go to the wash station.
Just a few reminders. Ticket takers take tickets only and do not handle food. Please keep your hands clean. Please do not eat or drink in the food booths. Step into a storage area or out of the concession stands entirely. Please help us train the volunteers replacing you or clean up for the day. All of these instructions will be provided to you at your food booth in written form. Thank you for volunteering at Handcart Days.